In this short tutorial, I'm going to go through how to create an animated GIF in Photoshop. I've created a simple document here, nothing complicated, with one layer. But to do animation, I need a new panel. So I'm going to go to the window menu, down to the timeline here. And in the middle there, if I click on the drop down, you can see I can do video timeline or frame animation. And that's what I want, the frame animation. I'll click on create frame animation. And I get one frame. Now I'm going to click on the T tool and I'm going to just type in a letter, and then with the move tool I'll position it where I want. And now I'm going to create a second frame, and so in the timeline I click on the plus button here, and with the second frame selected I move the letter to the right. If I click on the first frame, the letter's on the left, the second frame, the letter's on the right. I now hold the shift key and click on the first frame again, so both frames are highlighted, and I'll click on the little meteor button here, and this is the tween button. And basically what this is going to do, because I've got my first and last frame, I'm going to tell Photoshop work out how to go between the first and last frame in a number of frames, and I'll just do 20 here. Notice I've selected all layers, and notice I've got ticked position, opacity and effects. Position is what I'm playing around with, and I haven't changed opacity or effects, but I could do, and they would also work in the animation. I'll click on OK, go to frame 1 and click on the play button here, and here's my animation. Now at the moment the animation will run forever. And also notice at the bottom of every frame is a 0, which means it will run as fast as possible. So if I click on frame 10 and click on the drop down by the 0 and choose 5 seconds, for example, go back to frame 1 and play, it will now stop for 5 seconds on frame 10. And I can do that for every frame for whatever number I want. If I also go do a stop, go back to frame 1 and change forever to say 3 times, what will happen now is when I press play, the animation will only run 3 times. And I can choose any amount I want in other, or just once, or forever, as we saw before. And this is the second run. And with the pause, as you can see. And this should be the third run. And there we go. And now it stops. And to export it is very straightforward. I'll go to File, I'll go to Export, and I tend to use Save for Web Legacy. I could do File Save As, but I prefer Save for Web Legacy because in there I use the 2 up, and I can see at the bottom the file size in the bottom left hand corner, and in the top right hand corner I've set GIF, and I can change all the settings like the color table, for example. And if I wanted to reduce the file size, I can reduce the number of colors, say to 16, and the file size will go down, and I can then do save. And that's how you create and save out and animate a GIF in Photoshop.